10 UK towns built strong but tested by unexpected times. Britain's towns have always been built on strength, whether through coal, steel, shipbuilding, or sheer community resilience. They once stood as pillars of prosperity, symbols of British determination. But history rarely follows a straight line. Industrial collapse, economic shifts, and unexpected trials tested towns that once seemed unbreakable. Yet, time and again, these places showed grit and spirit. This is the story of reinvention, survival, and courage. Join us as we count down 10 UK towns built strong but tested by unexpected times, exploring their past struggles and future hopes. 10. Barrow-in-Furness, England. Barrow-in-Furness, sitting at the southern tip of Cumbria, is one of those towns whose transformation feels almost unreal. In the early 19th century, it was little more than a hamlet of fishermen. By the 1860s, it had become one of the fastest growing towns in the world, thanks to iron ore and shipbuilding. Its docks, designed by Sir James Ramsden, were cutting edge, and Barrow became synonymous with naval strength. Locals called it the English Chicago because of its rapid expansion. During both World Wars, Barrow's shipyards played a vital role in producing submarines and naval vessels. At its peak, it was dubbed the English Chicago because of its rapid growth. But as global shipbuilding slowed in the late 20th century, Barrow faced massive layoffs. Its population shrank, unemployment soared, and the once bustling yards grew quieter. Yet, Barrow refused to collapse. BAE Systems still employs thousands, particularly in submarine development, keeping Barrow on the global defence map. Tourism, too, adds to its resilience. Its proximity to the Lake District and coastline offers a second chance. Despite all odds, Barrow remains strong, a town that knows tides change, but endurance is eternal. 9. Merthyr Tydfil, Wales. Nestled in the Welsh valleys, Merthyr Tydfil rose from obscurity to global dominance in the 19th century. It became the iron capital of the world, exporting to America, Europe, and beyond. The Dowlais and Cuvarthfa ironworks employed thousands, and the town's name became synonymous with industrial power. But prosperity came at a cost. Overcrowding, poverty, and unrest simmered beneath the surface. In 1831, Merthyr witnessed one of Britain's first industrial uprisings, the Merthyr Rising, when workers demanded fairer wages and conditions. That spirit of defiance defined the town. The decline of heavy industry in the 20th century tested Merthyr's resilience. Coal mines closed, steel gave way to foreign competition, and Merthyr became shorthand for economic struggle. Yet, the valleys echoed with determination. Regeneration schemes, retail investment, and outdoor adventure tourism around the Brecon beacons have breathed fresh air into the town. Merthyr embodies Welsh grit, built strong by iron and coal, tested by industrial collapse, yet alive with culture, community, and a refusal to be forgotten. 8. Scunthorpe, England. Scunthorpe in North Lincolnshire is the steel town that refused to give in. Since the late 19th century, its iron ore reserves and blast furnaces shaped both its skyline and its people. Generations of families worked in the steelworks, forging an identity rooted in strength. The town's story, however, is one of constant tests. Globalisation, falling demand, and foreign imports threatened closures time and again. Redundancies hit hard in the 1980s and again in the 2010s. Each announcement shook the town to its core. Yet, Scunthorpe's resilience is its defining trait. Even during downturns, the community rallies, campaigning to save the works. Its football club, Scunthorpe United, carries the town's pride, while its schools and arts programmes keep community spirit alive. The steelworks remain a source of both fear and hope. Fear of closure, hope of survival. Scunthorpe proves that being built strong doesn't mean never falling, but always finding a way to stand back up. 7. Motherwell, Scotland. Motherwell in North Lanarkshire once roared with the fire of Ravenscraig, Europe's largest steel plant. At its height, it employed around 7,000 workers, earning Motherwell the title Steel Capital of Scotland. For generations, the furnaces defined life here. The closure in 1992 hit like a thunderclap. Thousands lost their livelihoods overnight. Families that had depended on Ravenscraig for decades suddenly had no anchor. Shops closed, morale fell, and Motherwell was left asking, who are we without steel? The answer came slowly. Retail and housing projects rose on the old site. Motherwell College grew, retraining locals for new industries. Sports clubs flourished, keeping community pride alive. Motherwell's story is not one of collapse, but of reinvention. Its skyline may have lost its giant furnaces, but its people's strength remains. Built on steel, tested by loss, Motherwell continues to move forward with dignity. 6. Workington, England. Workington, perched on the Cumbrian coast, has always been a place of industry. Iron, steel and coal shaped it for centuries. The town's steel rails once reached railways across the globe, but Workington has been tested time and again. The decline of coal mining and steelworks left it exposed. More recently, floods have battered the town physically, leaving roads and bridges damaged. Each time, Workington picked itself up. Sport is a huge part of its resilience. Rugby league and football provide pride, while community events strengthen bonds. The town is also leaning into culture, with theatres and museums preserving its past. Workington proves that resilience isn't about avoiding struggle. It's about meeting it head-on and refusing to bow. 5. Corby, England. Corby's rise is one of the most dramatic in English history. For centuries, it was a quiet Northamptonshire village, but in the 1930s, the steelworks transformed it almost overnight into a booming industrial town. Workers poured in, especially from Scotland, giving Corby its famous nickname, Little Scotland. When the steelworks closed in 1980, Corby fell hard. Jobs disappeared, unemployment rose, and the town was branded a symbol of industrial decline. Critics called it a place without a future. But Corby's community had other plans. Massive regeneration followed. New housing, retail parks, and business districts reshaped the town. Its Scottish heritage still thrives in accents, football clubs, and pubs. Today, Corby is also a popular commuter town, with rail links to London making it attractive to young families. Corby shows that even when a single industry vanishes, identity and culture can keep a town alive. 4. Port Talbot, Wales. Few places are as defined by steel as Port Talbot. Its steelworks long dominated the skyline and employed thousands, making it historically one of Europe's largest integrated sites. But uncertainty has haunted the town. Global steel crises, job cuts, and, most recently, the closure of its blast furnaces in 2024 as Tata Steel transitions to an electric arc furnace tested Port Talbot to the limit. Thousands of jobs were lost, sparking fierce debates about its future. Port Talbot has another strength: culture. Anthony Hopkins was born in nearby Margam, part of Port Talbot, while Richard Burton was born in Pontryduvan and raised in Taibach within the town. Their global fame proves that extraordinary talent can thrive even in the shadow of steel. This town remains a symbol of Welsh endurance, built strong on industry, tested by relentless doubt, yet always finding a way to fight back. 3 Redcar, England. Redcar, on the North Sea coast, once thrived on steel. Its towering blast furnace was a landmark, producing jobs and pride. But in 2015, the unthinkable happened. The works shut down, leaving thousands without work. Overnight, Redcar's identity seemed lost. Families who had lived off steel for generations suddenly faced an uncertain future. Yet, Redcar refused to fade. Its seaside attractions, surfing beaches, and cultural projects became new pillars. Tourism brought fresh life, and regeneration projects are slowly reshaping the town. Redcar's story is one of heartbreak and hope. It is a reminder that even when industries die, communities endure. To Clydebank, Scotland. Clydebank's story is extraordinary. It was the cradle of shipbuilding, launching liners like the Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth. Its name echoed with industrial pride. But Clydebank was tested twice. First, by the Clydebank Blitz of 1941, which destroyed much of the town and killed hundreds. Then, decades later, by the decline of shipbuilding. Jobs disappeared, yards closed, and Clydebank was left searching for purpose. Yet Clydebank survived both blows. Housing developments, colleges, and businesses grew. Its people rebuilt homes, schools, and futures. The resilience here is unmatched. Clydebank proves that towns built on strength can withstand even bombs and economic collapse. 1. Consett, England. At the top of our list is Consett, a town whose furnaces once lit up the County Durham sky. Its steelworks employed thousands, sending steel across the globe. The glow of molten iron defined Consett's identity. Then came 1980. Overnight, the works closed, leaving nearly 4,000 people jobless. It was one of the harshest industrial shocks in Britain. Consett faced economic collapse, depopulation, and despair. But out of the ashes came renewal. The old steelworks site was transformed into green landscapes, housing, and business parks. The skyline turned from smoke-filled to scenic. Consett became a symbol of reinvention, proof that towns can rise even after devastating blows. For sheer resilience, Consett stands as the ultimate example of 10 UK towns built strong, but tested by unexpected times. These towns remind us that Britain's strength lies not just in steel or coal, but in people. 10 UK towns built strong but tested by unexpected times proves that when industries collapse or trials arrive, communities adapt, endure, and rebuild. Tested by history, they remain unbreakable, true symbols of British resilience. Thank you for watching this video. Please